Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today. We're going to dive into a fascinating and complex topic, understanding psychopathy. In this presentation, we'll explore what defines this personality disorder, identify key traits, and examine the social impacts it can have. We'll also look into the behaviors associated with psychopathy, as well as the possible causes and the effects it brings. I'm excited to take you through this important subject and shed light on the complexities behind psychopathy. Let's get started. Psychopathy is a complex personality disorder that's marked by a combination of persistent antisocial behavior, impaired empathy, and a certain boldness or fearlessness. One of the core traits we see in psychopathy is the blend of manipulative and impulsive actions, which can seriously disrupt social relationships and functioning. In this presentation, we'll take a closer look at 8 unusual behaviors that are commonly associated with psychopathy. Understanding these behaviors is important not just for identifying signs of psychopathy, but also for recognizing the broader impact this disorder can have on individuals and society as a whole. Central to psychopathy is a pattern of ongoing antisocial behavior, along with significant emotional deficits. Most notably, a reduced ability to empathize with others. These traits together shape much of what defines psychopathy and its effects. When we talk about superficial charm, it's important to understand how psychopaths use this trait to their advantage. At first glance, they often come across as very engaging and charismatic, drawing people in with ease. This charm isn't just accidental. It's a calculated strategy designed to build trust and influence the people around them. However, beneath this warm or likable exterior, there's usually a lack of genuine emotional connection. The charm is surface level, more of a mask than a reflection of true feelings. Ultimately, this pleasant demeanor can hide a deeper layer of manipulation, making it all the more important to look beyond the initial impression. When we talk about the grandiose sense of self-worth in psychopathy, we're looking at how individuals often have an inflated and unrealistic view of their own importance. This isn't just confidence. It's a kind of arrogance where they tend to brag and exaggerate their talents or achievements. They do this to dominate others and assert their superiority during social interactions. This exaggerated self-importance helps them maintain control and influence, but it's important to recognize that it's based more on illusion than reality. One of the key features of psychopathy is compulsive lying. Unlike occasional lies that serve a specific purpose, these lies are habitual and arise without any obvious external gain. Psychopaths engage in this kind of lying almost automatically. Additionally, they often create detailed and elaborate stories about their accomplishments or various other topics. This habit makes it very difficult to trust anything they say, since their statements become unreliable. This constant fabrication not only damages their credibility, but also undermines relationships and trust with others. When we talk about manipulativeness in psychopaths, it's important to understand just how adept they are at exploiting and deceiving others. They use these skills primarily to serve their own interests, often without any regard for people they're manipulating. This isn't just about simple trickery. It's a calculated effort to control situations to their advantage. Moreover, psychopaths are experts at manipulating social environments. They're capable of influencing people around them in subtle and overt ways, like persuading coworkers to take the blame for mistakes they haven't made, or emotionally manipulating friends to gain something for themselves. This ability to control both people and outcomes makes their manipulativeness particularly dangerous and effective. When we talk about a lack of empathy, we're referring to a very specific and important characteristic. It's the deep inability to recognize or even care about how others are feeling. Psychopaths, for example, often fail to notice or simply ignore the signs that someone else is in distress. They don't show concern, and they rarely respond to compassion or understanding. This absence of empathy is what really sets them apart and influences how they interact with the world around them. When it comes to psychopathy, one of the most striking traits is their lack of remorse or guilt. Unlike most people, psychopaths don't feel regret or sorrow when they cause harm to others. This absence of emotional response means they can engage in harmful or destructive behaviors without any apology or signs of conscience. Essentially, they don't experience the internal moral conflict that would typically hold someone back from hurting others. This lack of remorse is a key factor that shapes their behavior and interactions. When we talk about impulsivity in psychopaths, we're referring to their tendency to act on sudden urges without thinking about the long term consequences. This means they might abruptly quit a job or jump into risky activities without weighing the potential fallout. These spur of the moment decisions often lead to negative outcomes, demonstrating how impulsivity can significantly impact their lives and those around them. Understanding this trait is crucial because it helps explain some of the unpredictable and sometimes destructive behaviors associated with psychopathy. When we talk about the parasitic lifestyle of psychopaths, we see a clear pattern of financial dependence on others. Many of them rely heavily on others for money or resources, but don't offer anything meaningful in return. This isn't just occasional borrowing. It's a repeated behavior where they borrow money without the intention or effort to repay it. Additionally, they tend to avoid taking on responsibilities. Steady jobs or giving back through social support are often things they steer clear of, preferring to let others carry those burdens. This combination of dependence and avoidance is a key characteristic of their parasitic way of living. When we look at the causes of psychopathy, it's important to understand that there isn't just one single factor. First, genetic predispositions play a crucial role. Psychopathy tends to develop from a complex mix of inherited traits that influence behavior and personality. Then, there are neurological variations. Differences in brain structure and function can affect emotional processing and impulse control, which are often seen in psychopathic individuals. Lastly, environmental factors are key. Childhood experiences like trauma, neglect, or other adverse events can significantly contribute to the development of psychopathy, especially when combined with biological vulnerabilities. So, it's really this interaction between genetics, brain biology, and life experiences that shapes the disorder. When we talk about warning signs to watch for, it's important to look beyond just the core strange behaviors. One major red flag is persistent irresponsibility, which can show up in different areas of a person's life and often signals deeper issues. Another key sign is frequent aggression, combined with emotions that feel shallow or insincere. These could be clues that something serious is going on beneath the surface. Finally, ongoing difficulties in maintaining stable relationships are a critical warning sign. When someone consistently struggles to keep steady relationships, it can highlight the need for intervention and increased awareness. All of these signs together help us recognize when support might be necessary. Psychopathy has significant implications for both personal relationships and society at large. First, it negatively impacts personal spheres by eroding trust and cooperation, which are foundations of any healthy relationship. This damage makes it difficult for individuals to maintain meaningful connections. Second, the use of manipulative tactics by those with psychopathic traits can disrupt relationships not just on a personal level, but also within broader social contexts. These tactics create confusion and conflict, making it hard for people to work together effectively. Third, the absence of empathy is particularly harmful. Without the ability to understand or share the feelings of others, psychopathic individuals often cause emotional pain and create ongoing challenges in their relationships. Finally, these behaviors can undermine social harmony overall. When trust breaks down and manipulation becomes common, communities and families face significant difficulties, leading to a less stable and more fragmented social environment. Understanding these implications is crucial for addressing the broader impact of psychopathy. Psychopathy is characterized by a range of distinctive behaviors. People with this disorder often display deceitfulness, show a lack of genuine emotions, and tend to engage in harmful ways when interacting with others. Recognizing these key behavioral signs is crucial because it helps us better understand the impact psychopathy can have on relationships and social dynamics. Being aware of these traits allows us to approach situations involving such individuals with greater caution and informed judgment, which is essential for protecting ourselves and fostering healthier interactions.